Yes guys, so we are back with another video. Today we're at Nottingham Strong. So I have trained here before on the channel. It was actually at a different location, so they've moved the gym now and I've just started coming here a little bit more, really enjoying it here. Awesome gym. They've added more kit to it since last time, and today it is legs, so it's actually the worst day of the week training wise. No men's physique guy really enjoys training legs all that much, let's be honest, but we're going to get it done. Starting with the pendulum squat, really enjoy that one. And then later in the video I'm going to do some posing tips for you guys, because I know there's some shows coming up, especially the WNBF first timers show, where I've got a few clients myself who are entering, and also you guys that follow me that are into men's physique and looking to do shows. I think it'd be very valuable to share some of my posing tips with you all. After that, we've also got a special guest coming onto the video, but we're going to get into this session first, and more to come on that towards the end.
Ha. Oh. Ha. Oh.
Oh. So I just finished on the pendulum squat, managed to get a wrap up on that. I mean, it's quite exciting because today is the 1st of May, which has made me realise I actually start prep next month. So even though I thought it was a while away, when I say it like that, it seems pretty soon. And with that in mind, getting them extra reps now over the coming weeks is so important. While I'm still full of food, before I start cutting the calories down, I want to get all the strength progressions I can. So really happy that that was a rep up then, even if it is on leg day. So onto the leg press now. I've done one set, 2 reps up then. We're feeling good, feeling strong today. I actually went to Rome last week and got back on Saturday. Today's Monday now. I think the extra food is still fueling me. Had a good time there. For anyone who's not been to Rome, I'd definitely recommend it. Okay, so we did a lot of the quad focus stuff at the beginning with the pendulum squat, the leg press, and then did the isolation work with the leg extension, focusing a bit more on quality of reps there rather than just the numbers. So I always say that. So your compound, you're aiming for strength, your isolation work, real good quality, really challenging the muscle, more so than the weight that you're lifting. Now I'm going into my RDLs, so more of a compound again, more posterior. If you'd watched my previous videos, you know I like to do these on my leg day. Even though it is working a lot of muscles in the back, it is my rest day tomorrow, so works well. Try and go a bit heavier on these, and then go into the isolation on the hamstrings. First set on RDLs, I'm going to go a bit heavier for a set. Feel like I'm encroaching a little bit in the powerlifting area though, a bit out of my comfort zone. As for this thing, please explain to me this. This is actually bigger than the single bed I had to stay in Rome, I'm pretty sure. It's huge. Need some music for this. So moving on to the isolation on the hamstrings, we're a little bit spoilt for choice here. This is what happens when you come to a good gym. So I'm actually going to go with the unilateral work on the hamstrings first here, and then my second leg curl, I'm going to do the seated one. There is a lying curl as well, but out of the two I actually prefer the seated, just because you get a lot more stability by locking in with the pad. Whereas with a lying curl, it's a little bit easier to cheat if you start lifting your hips up. So I'm going to go with that one after the unilateral work here. Do like to do a little bit more on the hamstrings in terms of doing 2 isolation moves, just because I find my quads are a bit more dominant over my hamstrings. Hamstrings are pretty poor, so good to do some extra work on them, just in case one day I take the board shorts off. It's never going to happen. So that was actually a little bit annoying. So I've had a problem the last few weeks. When I get flexion here, something's pulling in my heel, which is actually going to tie in nicely with the next part of the video. So hopefully we'll get it fixed today. So nothing too exciting to see here. We're just supersetting the calves. Even though I've got that little issue with my heel, I'm still able to get fully shortened in the calf, get right up onto my toes. So even though I'm not able to stretch it so much, I really can't afford to skip calves. So got to get them in. This to finish, and then we're going to run through my posing tips. Session is all done, legs wrapped up, just finishing off the intra-workout carbs, benefits of the off-season, carbs are higher. Love this drink while I'm training, USN creatine anabolic. Get on the description below for your discount and get this in. Orange flavour tastes great, the cherry flavour tastes better. But anyway, going to finish this and I'm going to go through my posing tips for you competitors who are watching the video. Okay guys, so for the benefit of this video, with me being a WNBF pro, I am going to relate this posing to the WNBF posing. Different federations, men's physique posing does change slightly, so I'm just going to focus on WNBF, but also what I'm sharing now, some of the tips will transfer into other federations as well. So the first thing I want to share with you guys, especially like I say, the WNBF first timers show is coming up. So what I say to first timers and anyone in general, please, please, please do not overcomplicate your posing. People see something online that someone's doing, they're like doing all these transitions and moves and they want to emulate it and then over exaggerate it at the same time. Please do not do that. My posing I keep as simple as possible. And the main thing it comes down to is going to be your foot positioning. So the feet are the first thing to concentrate on. And now an easy way for me to explain this to people is my feet should not be in a position that you wouldn't really see from me if I was just walking down the street. People overcomplicate this. We're doing men's physique. We need to look nice and relaxed on stage. Even if we're tense in certain areas, it needs to be nice and relaxed. So that starts with the feet. I see people doing all sorts. The foot is like right back here. The foot is here, wedging the toe into the floor. This does not look relaxed, and I would not do this if I was walking down the street. So my foot position, we've got 4 poses in WNBF. We've got the front pose, we've got 2 side poses, and the back pose as well. So first of all, setting my feet for the front pose, it's just simple. I'm just literally like that. Literally 1 foot facing off this way, 1 foot slightly on the toe. Like I say, if I was walking down the street, I would go to that position. That's my front pose sorted. One little tip for that as well is I don't want to see your feet wider than your shoulders. I see this done a lot. If I now bring my feet out here, my feet are wider than my shoulder position, which is, as an optical illusion, going to make my shoulders look narrower. If I come here, feet are just nice and relaxed, flare my lats, widen my shoulders will then look wide on my whole body. So that's my front pose there. Obviously there's other things we focus on, like I say, by flaring the lats, and I can bring this hand on hip, which is a rule in WNBF. You need to have one hand on your hip, and I can squeeze that slightly and bring out this delt here. But first thing, like I say, I want you to concentrate on is the foot positioning. So it's just here, just like that. Then they'll tell you to turn to the right. So same again, foot positioning, nice and simple. I'll just simply turn to the side, feet in a normal position, and then we're coming to the side there, and a slight twist in the upper body so that the shoulders are wider than the feet. Moving on from that, they'll then tell us to turn to the back. So this is very, very simple. All I need to do is literally spin to here, flare out in the lats, and then also, again, it'll be 1 hand on hip and bring 1 foot onto the calf. From there, all I need to do now when we turn is again, turn. And as you can see again, my feet are in a natural position, just like I'm walking down the street. Hand goes on hip, bring the abs in tight, twist slightly to bring that shoulder around and show the chest as well. And then from here, when you're turning back to the front, look at my feet. All I need to do is swap them over. Bring this one here, back to that relaxed position, flare out if I need to, bring the abs in and hands on hip. Right there. 4 poses, feet nice and simple, nothing overcomplicated, and a big smile as well. And you're pretty much half the way there. Okay, again, I don't want to overcomplicate it, so I'm just going to give you a second tip to focus on for you guys who are practicing your posing. So we've got the feet sorted. After that, the upper body. As you can see, I've got a t-shirt on, so you're not going to see everything working, but I will tell you what I focus on myself. And again, people overcomplicate it, doing all these fancy things with their arms. As you've just seen from those 4 poses, none of them involve the hands above the head. So I don't need to take my hands up there. All I need to do is just keep nice and relaxed. Now what I will do is just a little trick for you, is obviously you're not going to be able to tense your abs the whole time. So when you've seen me on videos before or on my Instagram or anything and my arms are here, all that is 2 things. First of all, I'm just using the arm to cover up the abs while they're not fully tense, gives me a little bit of breathing room, and also just gives me a chance to show my arm. So if I come forwards, front of the stage, I get my feet set, I'm covering up with my arm there, now I get my abs set, bring that lat round, and now I can take this hand onto the hip. There we go, abs will be nice and tight, shoulders wide, and I can stay there. I can stay there as long as they need me to. Again, big smile on my face, and I just hold that there. Then when I'm told to turn by the judges, again, I can use this arm here, cover up, bring the feet round, arm, little flex there, the tricep if I want to, and again there. So again, arms aren't coming up above my head, it's just nice and straightforward, and then moving the arms to position when my abs are tight. Same again, going to the back, I'll turn, use the arms to flare out, showing the detail in the back, and then bring the hand on the hip and bring the foot up there as well. And then from here again, as I said, I'm going to turn to the side again, my arm is covering up the midsection, get that nice and tight, flex, and then I'm there. Hold. And it'll be a nice big smile. Same again, coming to the front, switch the feet over, arm comes across there because my abs are just relaxing as I get into position, tense them, then bring the arm round. So as you'll see from that, when I'm working through the poses, nobody's ever seeing me without my abs tight, big smile on my face, everything's nice and simple, and that is actually how you'll stand out on stage. If you overcomplicate things, trying to do different transitions, you're going to have more to remember. The more you've got to try and remember, the more confused you're going to get, the more nervous you're going to feel. One thing I pride myself on is looking confident on stage, big smile, and the reason I look confident on stage, I feel, is because I keep things so simple. You're not going to get marked on your transitions, you're going to get marked on how you look in a pose. So I don't want to see you moving around too much, I just want to see you hit the pose and hold it. Because while you're holding that pose, the judges get more time to look at you. If someone next to you is moving around in between poses because they can't hold it for very long, that's going to work to your advantage. So simply big smile, hit them poses, nice and simple, and hold them. And that is a surefire way for successful posing in your first men's physique show, or your second, third, whatever it is. Hope that's helped someone. And now, cut that bit out. All the plugs today, USN, Blue Lab Whey, caramel popcorn flavour. Definitely my favourite one. Again, link below, give it a try. You won't be disappointed. Right guys, so that's the workout done. Obviously shared the posing tips there with you. So there's two things I want you to take from this video, if anything. First of all, if you're a competitor, those men's physique posing tips, keep it nice and simple, don't overcomplicate it, big smile on stage and you will look confident. Second thing, for anyone who is training, something I really can't emphasize enough, something that is so underrated, is recovery. So what I'm going to be doing after this session is going for a massage that I go for at least once a month, and basically that's just going to help keep everything nice and aligned in my body, keep the muscles recovering as well as possible, and I basically feel a massive benefit from that after I've been every time. So many people spend money on gym clothing, supplements, gym passes, memberships, all the rest. One thing I would definitely recommend is to take that bit of money from somewhere and put it into seeing a good massage therapist, because it will help you so much, avoiding injury and better posture, better movement within your sessions. As well as the massages, I'll also foam roll and also stretching every day, especially when I'm on prep. I've become OCD about this, and I do think those things make a difference. Not everyone's focusing on that. As a competitor, if you can take things that not everyone's doing and you make sure you're doing it, it's going to give you a little bit of an edge, and it is going to improve your training. So while Jonathan's getting into my calf, I think this is a perfect time for him to actually explain. So he's a Paralympic gold medalist, as I say, in high jump. So I feel this happens quite a lot. People will have a disability and a lot of people don't really understand it. So Jonathan, what if you'd like to explain basically what your disability is and how it obviously impacts you in your high jumping?
Yeah, sure. So I was born with talipes equinovarus, which is otherwise known as clubbed foot, affecting mostly my left foot. So on my left foot, I'm unable to tiptoe or propel off on my left side. So in the realms of high jump, it affects my penultimate step quite a lot, not necessarily my takeoff leg, but the one just before it. And I've got quite a significant leg length difference. So my left leg is shorter by, I think it's an inch or so. So I have to, I'm out of balance, as it were, when I'm walking and things. So I have to do a lot of self-therapy, get the therapists at British Athletics to look after me, and do a lot of stretching to kind of maintain my own body. But over the years I've learned how to manage myself fairly well.
I think it's one of them things as well, isn't it? Like I know you've got that, so I can see it, but I'm guessing a lot of people would never know unless you get your ankle out and show them kind of thing.
It's one of the hidden disabilities. If I'm in shoes and trousers, like it's just I've got a little bit of a limp.
Yeah.
You know, that's if you look closely at my ankles when I'm barefoot, you can see quite a significant difference. And I've got the world's ugliest feet as well. So. And
also, the golden question: when you won your gold medal, how high did you jump?
So in the day, because it was tipping down with rain, I jumped 2 meters 10.
It's crazy.
My lifetime best currently is 2 meters 15.
Wow, that's like twice my height. Not really, I'm not that short, but still, it's high.
Just going to let that drop. So. That feeling all right?
Yeah. This is where it hurts.
Right, so David's main findings there, calf had locked up a little bit, so there was a few trigger points through his soleus, which was pulling into the heel, but more influentially for his foot was actually I suppose a displacement or a locking of one of his metatarsal bones, so I had to get into the bottom of his foot in order to adjust that. It was actually your right side lat, which was the worst in comparison, even though your symptoms were on the left shoulder. It was actually the right side which was under, I suppose, more tension. Other than that, right quad. Yeah. So a few specific things, but tend to look at the whole body anyway and make sure that there's nothing holding on. Generally, David's in a good place. We've kept his body in good check, but it's just every now and again he does a lift, and it's just a little bit too much for at that time. The muscles may be a bit fatigued, and we just need to kind of normalise the tissue again. But yeah, tip-top shape, mate.
Thank you. So guys, we'll wrap up the video there, but I think Jonathan made it quite clear there, and this is some reason I want to share this on this video. First of all, the first take home from this video is obviously the men's physique posing, which I shared from you guys, but the other thing that I really want to get across is the importance of getting this work done. So you can see there that there was things that needed working on, loosening up and putting back in place basically, and I'm coming here once a month at a minimum, sometimes more often, especially during prep. So if that's what's happened during 1 month of training, what would happen over 6 months, a year? If I wasn't getting this work done, I wouldn't be able to train as well. I wouldn't be able to pose as well on stage and open everything up. So all of this stuff really does affect your results into how much progress you can make in the gym. I want to be able to train as efficiently as possible, and as a result of that, get the most out of my training as possible in terms of the gains that I can make. I touch on it all the time, especially with us guys that are natural. A lot can be achieved, a lot more than people realise, and it's doing the important things like this, getting the recovery work done. And then obviously aside from that, eating well, getting your sleep in, getting the adequate rest days in and training hard, it all comes together nicely. So they're the things that I want to share on this channel. I don't just want to share the basic things of go train, go smash it. It's the important stuff like this that all adds up. So I really think that's something important that I really wanted to share with you guys. Very good of Jonathan to join me on the video and share it with you as well. So same again guys, thanks for watching the video. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this and it would be of help to you. I've got 7 weeks now until my prep starts for this year. We'll talk about that more on future videos, and there's going to be a lot more content coming throughout that prep as well. Hope this has helped you in some way. Always open for messages, comments below, all the rest of it. But as usual, I'll see you on the next video guys. Thank you for watching.